My family used to get on my case about not drinking enough water. I hated drinking water, and even though I know how important it is to our cells, organs, bodily functions, among other things, I didn't care. That is, until I was hit with the most shocking news. I had cancer, and I was advised to start chemotherapy right away. On February 24th, 2017, the first of 4 chemotherapy sessions began. After the first few days of chemo, I felt great, but soon after that, I experienced nausea and vomiting. Because of my nausea and vomiting, I didn't want to eat or drink. I tried, but whatever went down came back up. So my intake of water slowed to a screeching halt, thus resulting in severe dehydration. This continued for quite some time. I got so weak to the point that I could barely walk. I knew something was wrong, so I called 911. I was taken to the emergency room. They hydrated me with 2 liters of normal saline solution, gave me anti-nausea and anti-vomiting medicine, and kept me for about 4 hours before sending me home. I left there feeling like a different person. I was hydrated and relieved that I was no longer experiencing the horrid side effects of chemo. The ER doctor and my oncologist told me that I had to start drinking more water. I agreed, but keeping it down was the problem. After that episode, I knew that hydration was the key to overcoming the effects of chemo. Therefore, I was determined to be proactive. So I had to find a way to overcome my aversion to water and my body's reaction to drinking it. I began by changing the brand of bottled water I purchased, and that was the key. I purchased bottles of Fiji water, starting with 1 liter and then gradually working up to 2. This made a huge difference in my life. Though the bouts of nausea and vomiting still occurred, the episodes were few and far between, going from multiple times a day to a few times every 3 weeks after chemo. Not only did my nausea and vomiting diminish, but I found that increasing my water intake had several more positive effects on my body. I became more energetic and no longer experienced constipation, lightheadedness, or dizziness. Water saved my life. I realized that water is not the only hydration source, but there is no substitute for it. Other liquids provide hydration, but water should be your primary source. Since our bodies are made up of 60% water, most of which we lose on a daily basis through sweat, urine, and expelled through our lungs, it is imperative that it be replaced. Regarding other drinks, make sure they are not cancer-causing. Coca-Cola is one source of cancer that should be avoided at all costs. Same goes for most carbonated beverages. If you are experiencing the same types of symptoms I had, I highly suggest drinking more water. Doing so has changed my life, and I believe it will change yours too.